All right, students, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you here for our virtual farm tour. You are seeing Farmer Barb's farm as we fly in to go check out all the cows and the barns and everything happening on the farm today. Now, I want to tell you about a few things before we get started. I will be your tour guide for today, and I have Farmer Barb with me. But we want to make sure you get your questions answered. So be sure to use the question and answer feature down below on your Zoom. If you're joining us via Zoom, if you're joining us via Facebook, you can type in your questions into the comment section. And if you're joining us on YouTube, you guys just get to enjoy our tour. Another reminder is if you join us late, you can always pop on to YouTube because this is running live and simultaneously recording, or if you want to go back and watch it again. We want you guys to ask questions. Know that we're going to get to as many as we can, of course. And if you don't see your question being answered right away, it's probably because we're headed there next. So just hang on with us and we'll get it answered. One last reminder is that we do have worksheets, curriculum standards approved lesson plans on our website, americandairy.com/tours. You can find those there as another resource. Okay, without any further ado, welcome Farmer Barb. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your farm?
Sure. So like Kelsey said, I'm Farmer Barb, and this is our farm, Delrose Farm. We live in Delaware County, New York, the township of Bloomville, and we farm here as a family farm. We have 60 cows that we milk, about 140 head of livestock altogether. We have raised 7 children here. We have 3 sons and 4 daughters, and all three of our sons are back on the farm farming with us. So there's 5 farmers on our farm.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, Farmer Barb, we're already jumping into our tour. What in the world are we looking at right now? What is that?
So these are ag bags, and you'll see them along the countryside. They're how we store feed for our cows. In this bag, there's hay crop silage, which is alfalfa and grasses chopped up really fine, and then it's put into this bag, and then it's allowed to ferment. So it kind of has like a little bit of a taste like a pickle to it, but it makes it so it doesn't spoil.
Oh, okay. So I hadn't even thought about that, but there's nothing that grows in the fields during the winter time, right? So
right.
Is this how we feed our cows in the winter?
We feed our cows, our milking cows, this way all year round.
Oh,
Yes, for sure. So some of our cows do pasture. They eat the grass that's growing outside during the months where you see wonderful grass growing, like in these. But the times of the year where you don't, we have to put feed up to store it. Like in this hay mow, we put away 25,000 bales of hay every year in order to feed our cows.
Wow, very cool. Okay, so now that we're seeing where all this feed is stored, where is it all grown? Do you get it all from right by the farm?
Well, actually, it's up and down the road here. So
Okay.
there used to be a lot more dairies than what there is now. And so now we actually grow crops on 5 different farms, or 5 tracts of land that were 5 different farms.
Okay.
About 500 acres. But some of the crops we grow, we sell to other farmers to feed their cows with, because they don't have as much land.
Got it. So we're seeing your son doing some chores right now, and it looks like he's feeding your cows. What is he feeding now?
So he's feeding dry hay, which we saw that picture of the hay mow, and I said that we put up 25,000 bales of hay.
Okay.
This is him feeding out a bale of hay. Cows absolutely love it. You can see them putting their tongues out. They're like, give it to me, give it to me. It's like candy, Halloween candy for them.
Got it.
They love it. So we feed them hay at least twice a day, in addition to the mixture that you're going to see us mix up that we call TMR, or total mixed ration. That gets fed twice a day too. And that has corn silage and hay crop silage and ground ear corn and soybean and vitamins and minerals all mixed together in it.
Oh my gosh, very cool. Now we were seeing some cows are standing up, some cows are laying down, relaxing. So how do cows kind of just spend their day? What are they up to?
So cows, they're creatures of habit. They like to do things. So we milk at the same time, twice a day, both ends of the day, and we feed them at the same time. And so they rest a lot. The more a cow rests, the more relaxed she is, the more milk she produces.
Oh, okay.
She rests about 12 to 14 hours a day.
Cool.
Or so.
And we're seeing on screen now too, it looks like he's mixing up that feed you were talking about.
Right.
And was that a cell phone and a scale? Are you guys using a lot of technology on that?
That's right. So that is. So he has his cell phone that goes into a program that also has the weights in it, and it has like what the diet of our cows are, the weights of each feed stuff that goes into that mixing wagon.
Okay, so for our students, imagine their dinner plate that's got veggies and maybe some protein and maybe some carbohydrates like a potato.
Right.
Cows are getting a fully balanced diet too.
That's right. Oh. And also with this program that we have, it also shares it with our precision feed person, who then also is able to look at how efficient our cows are, and how much it is costing us, or where we could perhaps change some of what we feed or how much we feed of things in order to make it so that it costs us less to feed those cows.
Got it. Okay. So we're having some questions come in about our cows. Now we're looking at these cows. How big are they? Some of our students have never seen a cow before.
So cows are really big. Sometimes people think cows are like St. Bernard dogs or little ponies. Cows are a lot bigger than that. And our cows, the average weight is 1,600 pounds.
1,600 pounds. Okay, got it. Now, we saw each of the cows in their little stalls, as we'd like to, I shouldn't say little, they looked pretty roomy. A lot of them were laying down, but in their stall. So we had some of the students asking, do they spend all day in their stall, or do they go for some exercise, kind of like school?
Right. So most of their day is spent in their stall, but they do get time to exercise, go out, run around, then come back in, because they really like being in their stalls, and they sleep on mattresses that have sawdust on top of it.
Yeah, we can see it there.
That.
Cool.
And then you can see the little blue water bowls. That's their water. So every 2 cows shares a water bowl so that they can have water whenever they need it. And then they have feed that's down in front of them. Now you can see Seth, Farmer Seth is cleaning the mangers here, because before he puts that new mix that he just mixed up, that new feed, he cleans the old out first.
Got it. Now we're seeing some different color cows. What types of cows do you have?
So at our farm, the brown cows you just saw are brown Swiss, and then there are some black and whites, and there are red and whites, and those are Holsteins. So Holsteins can be red and white and black and white. The reds come because it's a recessive hair color, just like I have red hair.
Oh, okay. Got it. Now we had some other students asking too. We see as we feed here, as Seth feeds, what are the earrings on their ears?
Right. So all the cows have an ear tag that there's a dot in one ear and then a tag in the other. And they have a number that is an 84,000 number that is their very own number. They're the only cow that has that number anywhere. And so this is so that to make sure that if the cow was to get sick, if the cow was to go somewhere else, that it could be traced to see where she came from.
Got it.
And about her, like you could say, kind of her medical history.
Got it. Okay. So how much food are these cows eating every day? You told us they're 1,600 pounds.
Right.
How much food do they eat in a day then?
So about 120 pounds, depending, cows that are a little bigger or are giving more milk will eat a little more. Cows that are, a little bit smaller, or giving not as much milk, a little bit less, but about 120 pounds of feed a day.
Okay. And now I see them eating a lot of plants. Now I know we eat some plants, but I think cows have a different stomach than we do. Is that true?
Yes, they do. They have a, a part of their stomach called the rumen, which we also refer to it as the fermentation vat. And that allows them to eat all sorts of different feeds that you and I could never eat and receive any nutrition from. But cows can, and they utilize it, and they change those feedstuffs into protein that they can then use to make milk with.
Oh my gosh. So cows are just really good recyclers.
They are.
Is what
They're
I'm hearing.
upcyclers, recyclers, however you want to call it. Yes,
got it.
that's
Got
right.
it. Okay. Yep. Very cool. Now we saw a couple of our students were asking, seeing that obviously Seth was pushing that feed off. What happens to that feed? Where does that go?
So farmers don't like to waste anything. So, this feed will go to feed. We have a small herd of beef cows, and then also our dry cows, which are the cows that are getting a couple of months off from milking in the barn before they have their next baby. So okay. This feed will not get wasted.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So we had one other question before we head off, which was, what is your biggest cow?
Oh, well,
or how big is your biggest
cow?
We've
had cows. We had a cow that weighed over 2,200 pounds. That what I would say is, so that's over a ton.
Right.
That's a big cow.
That's a big cow. That is a really big cow.
Okay. We have a cow in the barn right now. Her name is Swish. She's very, very big. So
okay, so each of your cows has a name.
They do. All our cows have names.
All the cows have names.
It's part of the fun when there's a new baby. You get to pick out names.
Pick out a new name. Okay. Well, students, maybe if you're lucky, Farmer Barb will name one of her calves from today after you guys. So, but to do that, you got to do your quiz first. So we've talked about a bunch of stuff. You guys try, see how your listening ears were doing, if you remember everything, and let's head over to the quiz. All right, students, I hope you got all of those questions correct for our quiz. Now, I think it's time for us to head over and see how the cows get milked. We already have students asking Farmer Barb, how many times are your cows milked every day?
So our cows are milked 2 times a day here. Some places people milk their cows 3 times a day, but we milk our cows 2 times a day.
Okay, got it. And we're seeing, obviously, the cows, it looks like You go to the cows to milk them in their stalls where they're comfortable. Is this like work from home?
Exactly.
You don't even have to go anywhere.
Nope, they don't. Nope, that's right.
That's pretty awesome. So while Seth is getting this ready, it looks like he's cleaning up all the equipment he's about to take out there. We had some more student questions come in, so we'll have you answer a couple of those. One of which is, where are the cows milked? We just got to see that. But then another question that we had was, how much do your cows sleep in a day? And why are cows lazy?
Well, the thing is I don't like to think of cows as lazy because it looks like they're very chill and not doing a lot of work, but while they're resting and eating and ruminating, they're making milk, and they make a lot of milk in a day. So even though it looks like they're lazy, because it's not like that they're climbing mountains or what have you, but their bodies are working hard to produce milk for us.
Got it.
So
Okay,
they like to rest like 12 to 14 hours a day.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they do like to rest a lot. Now, you said that they're making a lot of milk. How much milk every day?
So at our farm, the average cow is making 10 gallons a day.
10 gallons. Okay, wait. Now, students, I hope you have your math hats ready. If each of your cows is making 10 gallons, how many cows are you milking on the farm? Or how many cows are in the barn?
We milk 60 cows.
Okay, 60. So students, 10 gallons a day times 60 cows, that's a lot of milk every day.
It is.
Okay, wow. So, and you said obviously we're milking 2 times a day. So does that mean cows are giving about 5 gallons at each milking?
End, about.
Yes. Okay, so it's split up about equal. So what are we seeing Seth do now?
So this is Kale.
Sorry.
This is farmer Kale.
We switched.
Kale. So Seth was feeding. Kale is milking.
So
this is when we milk cows, we use teat dip, we call it, which is a disinfectant that we spray on the cow's teats to make sure to clean the teats off.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as you can see barrels and cleaners there. It's really important that everything is super clean. Cows are clean. The equipment we use to milk the cows, anything that the milk touches. So that includes the pipes that the milk passes through, the bulk tank where it gets stored until the milk truck comes, all of that needs to be really clean. So he just sprayed some of the disinfectant on this cow. This is baby B that we're milking in this picture.
Okay.
On her udder. And so now he's wiping that off, which that cleans the teats, but it also rubs her teats so that it initiates the letdown of her milk. And you'll see when now he's putting the milker on her.
Now, do cows like to be milked? Do they enjoy this process for the most part?
They do. Okay. Yes, I think they do. You'll see that they're very calm about it.
Yeah, she's standing perfectly still, just relaxing, saying, yep, I'm good.
And see how you can see the milk flow into the unit? That's a very positive thing and that had to do with wiping her off, spraying her and wiping her off. That helped initiate that whole thing so that when you attach the milker, the milk starts to fall into the unit. You want to see that.
Okay, so that disinfectant, is that kind of like hand sanitizer like we use?
In a way.
Okay.
I mean, but it has like special ingredients in it, emollients in it, so that it doesn't dry out their mammary system too.
Okay.
Because you don't want the cow to end up with dry, chapped teats. So, there's good things in it. Yes.
Got it. Okay, so it's like really fancy
sanitizer. It is,
okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, we're looking at your cows and how you talked about the milk going from the cow into the pipes, all the way over to the bulk tank. I think we're going to see it here in just a second. But how long does it take for milk from these cows, from these beautiful cows on the screen, to get to like our students in school, for example?
Well, about 2 to 3 days. So they pick up our milk every day from here. Farms usually get their milk picked up every day or every other day. We're an everyday pickup.
Okay.
And it goes 15 miles away from here to Saputo and gets processed there. And a lot of the milk processed there goes into milk It isn't
Fluid
made,
milk,
it's
okay.
fluid milk. It isn't made into like butter or cheese at that plant. By
Got
and
it.
large, most of it is made into fluid milk. And so then it gets to stores in a very short amount of time. Sometimes
Cool.
2 days, sometimes 3, but it's a very short amount of time.
Very quick. Now, we're seeing the cows be milked, and then obviously that milk goes directly into that pipeline. So I like my milk very cold. I'm guessing when milk comes out of the cow, it's not automatically that ice cold like I like it.
It isn't. And that's one thing that people don't realize is people assume because they drink milk super cold is that, oh, that the milk comes out of the cow cold. Well, of course it doesn't because her body temperature is over 100 degrees. So the milk, when it comes out of the cow, is the same temperature as what she is. And so by the time it gets to the tank, traveling through those pipes, it might knock it down to 90 degrees because the barn is cool.
Right.
So when it gets into the bulk tank, this is the bulk tank here. That is a huge refrigeration unit is what a bulk tank is. And it is working to reduce the temperature down to 34, 35 degrees within an hour of it being harvested from the cow. And as you can see, the agitator moves the milk around so that it's trying to cool that all down.
Now, you shared with us too how you're doing a lot of cleaning and sanitation, but there's no cleaning of the milk. The milk is clean itself. We're just making sure nothing from the outside comes in.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. That was one of our students' questions. I want to make sure we answered that.
That's right.
Now, we're seeing obviously an overview of the farm and the tank pulling up. You said you get picked up every day.
Right.
Where is that milk going to? Mostly you said fluid milk. Is that like school milk or milk we get in the grocery store?
That would be milk in the grocery store. So Pudo doesn't do little containers for school milk. But that was one thing is when we talked about how much milk each cow was giving, that each cow in the barn would feed 160 school children their container of milk. Because that's how many, there's 16 of those servings in 1 gallon.
Okay.
And so 16 times 10 is 160.
So students, you can think about that. Each cow gives enough milk every day to make sure 160 students have milk in school. That's pretty cool. Now, we've had a couple other questions coming online from some of our students, which was, how long ago was this farm started? How long have you been doing this?
So, our farm is over 40 years old. My husband, Ernie, and I, today's our 41st anniversary. He started milking here in 1980. So we're just a little over 40, but we both grew up on dairy farms. He grew up on a farm that is right next door to our farm, and I grew up on a farm in Franklin, just on the other end of the county.
Oh, got it. Okay. And then another student asked, does the milk taste any different between your different cow breeds? So we saw some different colors of cows in the barn.
Yep.
Is the milk any different?
So, yes, but you have to understand a lot about milk composition in order to, I think, really notice the differences. But like Holsteins, the percent fat and percent protein in their milk is a little bit lower than what the brown Swiss is. And so the brown Swiss is considered the cheese making breed because the balance of protein and butter fat is what is great for making cheese.
Got it. Okay, students, you're ready for your next quiz. Hop on over to the quiz and we'll be right back, and then you'll get to see the calves. All right, students, I hope that you've had a chance to get your answers in. I know that you did great, but it is time to jump back over and check out the calves. I know that they are pretty darn cute, so we're gonna head into the calf barn now. We're looking at it right now from the outside. So, Barb, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here in the calf barn. I think we're gonna feed some calves some milk.
We are. So you can see Kale's getting ready to get milk together to feed calves, and you can see a few of our cats are this is sawdust. This is what we use to bed our cows so that our cows and our calves stay clean. And that's a shovel full of sawdust that you see there. So as you look down the manger where our calves are, now this is a pen of older calves that have been weaned.
Got it.
But on the other side, you'll see when we feed is the nursery side right here on the left-hand side. That's the nursery side. All the calves there are on milk.
Okay.
They're the first 2 months of their life, they receive milk twice a day. And so as well as free choice water. And then also we feed them their grain, and they get some hay too. But they get milk twice a day because they're babies. It's just like human babies. When they're little, they get their mother's milk because they need a head start on growing.
Got it. Okay. So our calves, now I'm being reminded myself here too, in order for a cow to even make milk, they have to have a calf. That's the starting of producing milk, right?
Yep.
Now, these calves, we're having students, they got to know, they look adorable and small, but how big are they really?
So when they're born, they weigh about 80 to 90 pounds, a baby is. And then, but they grow really, really fast. Just the way you think about a human baby, how fast it grows.
Yep.
And so by the time, in 2 months' time, you hope that they, over that 2 months, are growing about 2 pounds per day over that time.
Oh my gosh, 2 pounds per day?
Yes.
Okay, so how much, if they're growing 2 pounds per day, right, students, and then they're about 80 pounds when they're born, how much milk are they having every day?
Well, they get at least 2 gallons each end of the day is what we give them.
So 2 gallons of milk every day to help our calves grow big and strong.
Right. And then they eat lots of grain and learn to eat hay. And then you can see the bucket of water so that they, it's really important, just like you drink lots of water, that they drink lots of water.
Got it. So we had some students asking too, do you keep, these are all girl calves as we talked about. And of course, because girl calves are the ones that will have the next generation of, or girl cows, I should say.
That's right.
Do you keep any boy cows on the farm? Do we keep any bulls here?
No, we do not. We don't keep any bull calves here. Female calves become the cows that produce milk. And this is a business, and that's how we make our money, is to sell our milk. And whereas bulls, the only function they would have is in breeding, and you don't need to have bulls there, and it's a safety issue too.
Got it. Okay.
There's been some horrible farmer accidents and deaths involving a bull that turned mean, and so
we keep those we don't keep those on the farm. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Now we're asking why, or some of our students are asking why, do you keep the calves the way that you do? So it looks like our littlest calves are maybe 1 or 2 to a group, and then as the calves get older, they're in a slightly bigger group.
Right.
But we've also noticed they're separate from all the adult cows. Can you tell why do we do that?
Well, so cattle are herding animals. They like company. So that's why some farmers raise their calves in individual hutches.
Okay.
We do not. We think that they do better with buddies.
Okay.
And so
buddy system.
We have, so we're big on buddy system here. So that's why you see the littlest calves, 2 or maybe 3 together.
Okay.
As you can see here, Kale is getting ready to show you how he puts a calf jacket on. So when it gets cold, our littlest calves, the ones before they've been weaned from their milk, they will wear jackets because they aren't big enough to regulate their body temperature or have enough body fat stores in order to keep them nice and warm. And so we put jackets on them for the first 2 months of their life. Here you can see they learn how to use their water bowl. They push a little brass spigot there, and that way they can get water whenever they want it.
How
Some
much?
fresh water.
So we had some students asking, how much water do cows drink every day?
Well, it depends on your age and how
right,
big
of
you are.
course. Let's say adults.
So, but the adult cows, and depending on how much milk they're giving, will drink 30 to 50 gallons of milk a day. But if you think about how much milk they're giving,
right,
and milk is a liquid,
Mhm.
they need a bunch, because they also need it like for, sweating, for
Mhm.
maintenance, for moistness in their digestive tract. So
Got it. Okay, so they need it for a lot of different reasons.
exactly.
But they use it very efficiently. So we had another question, which is how old is a calf when it's fully grown? So when does it transition? We've seen them littles that are on milk. These ladies here that are maybe like our teenagers.
That's correct. Yep.
So when does she get into the milking herd, become an adult?
So when a young animal gives birth the first time, which is at about 2 years of age, that is when they become an adult.
Got it. Okay.
So, but that's what initiates that, is that them giving birth.
Okay. So then how old are most of your cows in the barn?
So, it ranges in the milking cows from 2 years to, we have a cow that will be 13 in the spring.
Oh my gosh, 13.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We call her the queen, Samoa the queen.
Samoa the queen. Okay, so then we had another question coming in. We just saw, why did the calves only have one earring as opposed to 2?
Right. So when they're born, we put that dot tag in their ear, because that is that very, very special number that belongs to only that animal that has that dot in their ear. Then we send into the breed associations the information that has their name, the day they were born, their mom and their dad's names. And then the breed association orders the tag that goes in the other ear that has their name, the month and year that they were born, and their dad's name, as well as their very special number. So their very special numbers in both ears.
Got it. Well, these calves look very comfortable, like they are really relaxing, focused on growing. But I'm really hoping, students, that you have been paying attention with your listening ears, because it is almost time for another pop quiz. We'll take one more question about this, which is, how often are people, or your sons, for example, how often are they in the barn? How long, how many times a day? Are they there all day? It seems like you guys pay a lot of attention to your animals.
So there's someone in the barn for at least 20 hours a day.
20 hours. That's there's only 4 missing then.
That's right. So, and we try to make it so that
you guys are catching actually some real farm. One of our dogs is out working and helping out. So we apologize for that, but we're just going to give her just a second while you guys watch a quick clip of these calves, and we're going to jump right over to our quiz. Wow, students, you guys are doing absolutely awesome. I can tell you have your listening ears on and that you definitely have been paying attention. So we obviously have loved having you join us today. We loved having you join us today. You're checking out some footage of the farm. Before we let Farmer Barb go, what we're seeing right now is an overview of the crops and the farm in general. One of our other questions the students were asking is how often the cows are actually outside. And I know that we talked about it briefly, but that the cows are in their stalls most of the time, but they get exercise time, kind of like recess.
Right, exactly. And then cows, the young animals, like the teenagers, they're out all day and night until the weather gets too cold, and then they get stable. The same with the dry cows, which was the cows you were seeing out in that field. The cows that are on vacation before they have their next baby, they're out all day too.
Got it. Well, we so appreciate all of your time today, Farmer Barbara. It's been absolutely amazing. We love seeing your 60 cow dairy, how the cows are milked, how they spend their days. Oh my gosh, the wonderful, delicious diets they eat, all the fresh dairy products that they make. It's been very cool. Before we head out, I want students to know you can find Delrose Farm and Farmer Barb on Facebook and Instagram, right, Barb?
That's right.
So if you want to know what's going on, you've got more questions, you want to see more, you can totally do that. The other thing I want to be able to share with our students is that you can join another live tour. We have 2 more tours, one coming up in November and one coming up in December, which would be great. So use the QR code here to be able to scan and join another tour. You can also access our free lesson plans. Farmer Barb, anything else you want to share with our students before we head off?
No, it's been great spending time with you, and I hope you learned a little bit about our farm. And we hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see you there.
Wonderful. Thanks, students. You have a great rest of your day.